Good morning, everyone. Greetings. It is Teacher Tuesday. As you know, this year we decided to dedicate Tuesdays to you. And what we're going to do on those days, during your planning period and during the morning, we are going to meet as teams or departments to discuss data and your practices and to compare strategies. Well, today we're using our Teacher Tuesday to focus on professional development. Now, as you know, our Seaside students did pretty well on the FCAT. Our average student made a level 3. So most of our students are meeting the standard, but we're not happy to stay there. We want to go higher. So what we want to do, the administrators and our leadership team, we got together to see where is it we can make the most improvement. Looked at the strands on the FCAT and found that we can improve on main idea, author's purpose. So how can we get our students to do a better job at picking the main idea, finding the author's purpose, and finding supporting details? Well, what we're going to do is across the content areas in English, social studies, science, and math, and some of our electives, even health, what we're going to do is focus on coding techniques and using graphic organizers, excuse me. So that's how we're going to improve on the main idea for our students, by using those two reading strategies. Again, they are text coding and graphic organizing. Okay, so are we ready? You want to get started? Now, in the terms I just used, text coding and using graphic organizers, it may sound familiar to some of you. You may be doing it right now in class. But we want to make sure that we all are on the same page and we know what we're doing, so we're going to start with the coding. Now, I'm going to model those techniques today. And we like to do it in such a way that how we do it today with you, you'll take it to your classroom and do it the same way. What we're going to try to do is something called the gradual release model, where we are going to use a direct approach of instruction and then gradually take you, as you'll take your students, to a more individualized style of learning. But first we're going to model. You'll work in a group, and then if time permits, you will do it alone. Okay, so let's go ahead and practice with our first passage. Now, when students begin with the reading a passage, there's a code that you can establish in your classroom. What we're going to do is use these text codes here. Everyone at the table, you should have a highlighter and a pencil. And this is how you're going to use them for coding. You're going to use a pencil when you're reading the text to underline the important details or supporting details. A highlighter is when you find the main idea or the central idea. Now, maybe there's something you read, or the students will read, and they'll say, huh? What is that? That's what the question mark is for. Use your pencil for that. And exclamation point is for something surprising or new information. We're going to code the text. That is the idea. So let's begin with best friends. Now I'm going to move this off, but everyone should have a text code sheet at your table. I believe you all do. I can look at it out there. Okay, great. All right, let's get started. Okay. This text is about best friends. That's the title. I'm going to model text coding. I'm going to do it aloud. I'm going to go through my thinking process so that you can see what's in my brain and see how I process through and decide what's an important point, what's the main idea, and this is how your student should do this and how you should explain it to them also. Our goal is that when we're done with this page, we're going to have many highlights or maybe the main idea and some underlining. It's not going to be a clean sheet of paper anymore. That's what we're going for, because we want to connect to this text. And in order to connect to the text is to use the highlighter and the pencils. So I'm going to start reading. Jenny and Juliana were best friends. many things together. Now that's an important point there. I'm going to underline that. Now I do have the option of going back and changing this supporting detail to a highlighted main idea if through further reading I find it is the main idea. In the summer, they both like to go swimming in the ocean and to build sandcastles. Okay, that's something they like to do together. So this is an example of something they like to do together. So that sounds like something important I need to underline. It's seeming more and more to me like they like to do many things together may be the main point of this text here. In the winter, they went ice skating on the pond by their school. That's definitely important to know. In the winter, this is what they like to do. Okay, well that's good. I think I like ice skating too. Okay, so it's looking to me like this is the main idea. They like to do many things together. Now let's see what else we have here. Their favorite thing to do together was to ride horses in the meadow near their homes. Okay, this is their favorite thing. Favorite. And that was to ride horses in the meadow. Okay, so I have coded, I have used my highlighter to highlight what I think the main idea is. I have underlined the supporting facts or things that are important to know, what they like to do in the summer, in the winter, and their favorite thing. Now, I'm going to remove this and let's answer some questions and see if we can pull out the important things by answering the questions and seeing if we were on the mark there. Okay, here we go. All right, Jenny and Juliana, let's go over here. Okay, we're going to get right to what is the main idea of the story. So on the FCAT, there's the question and they have choices. So these are all choices. Let's see if they match up with what I underlined here. What is the main idea? Jenny and Juliana live close to each other. Well, there's nothing on there about that. I can go back to the text to support. There's no support for that. The girls love to ride horses together. Well, that's true. They did. But is that the main idea? We have they like to do many things together. Option C. Jenny and Juliana like to do the same things. That is the main idea, and that is the main idea that was highlighted here. So we're doing the right process here. Now, here's another question. What was their favorite activity to do together? Well, it's very good. One of the supporting things we underlined, or I underlined here, was their favorite thing was ride horses, and that is option C. So we use text coding to pull out important features, and now we can transfer the text coding to our other reading strategy, which is the graphic organizer. Hope you can see that back there. I will read it. So I pulled out the main idea. That's my top circle, my central circle here. Is things Jenny and Juliana like to do together. The underline, the supporting strategies was swim and build sandcastles, ice skating, and horseback riding. So this is how we take the text coding to graphic organizing. In both cases, pulling out important features and finding the main idea. Okay. That's an example of text coding that's been modeled for you. So, what do you think? You've seen the example, the modeling. Does it sound like something you've done in your classrooms before? I see some nodding out there, so that's great. We're already on the right path here. Will they work in your classroom? Well, the best way to find that out is, let's get started. Let's work on, I'm going to have you guys work together in a group to do some example text coding. All right, let's take a few moments. We have our tables here. We had a direction when you came in to sit with your departments, sit with your subject areas, and you're doing doing that. We have some math people sitting together, some science people sitting together, social studies, language arts. So you guys are sitting together. I have electives sitting there on the side. That's perfect. You guys follow directions perfectly. All right, now, at those tables, there is an example text that is within your content area. Okay, so here we go. Just one example so you'll see what a few of you are working on. Those in language arts, you have an excerpt from the chapter 1 of Anne of Green Gables. You're going to read the excerpt, text code with your highlighter and pencil that's at your table, and then you're going to make your own graphic organizer, your concept map here, pulling out the important points. Science, you're going to do something on the solar system. And math, a math story, and doing word problems from those. Sometimes it's hard to think of math fitting in the reading strategies, but as you know from Common Core, we're all working, all the subject areas are working together to build the reading and the writing of our students. Okay, so you have everything you need. You have your text, you have your highlighter, you have your pencil. Now I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to see how you guys work together to do the text coding of those examples. And I will put this back up here so you can see this as you're working in your groups. Okay, have fun. I'll be walking around in just a moment. All right, I see you guys are working together. I'm looking at the time, and we're gonna go through because the other bell rings. I know we're gonna get ready to have another transition. So, what I'd like to do, I see that you're doing some great work there. Let me just talk to you a little while you're at your tables, because like I say, time, you want to do this the best that we can. In your classes, you're going to take this a step further. Your students will watch you model, then they will work together in groups, and then you will give them an opportunity to do a coding on their own. You'll have another one for them to do, and then they will be able to use the highlighter and pencil and do it themselves to find out if they do understand how to text code and use a graphic organizer. And remember, through all of this, our main goal is to strengthen their reading skills and the concept of main idea. And I know we can do this if we all emphasize text coding and graphic organizers with our students. Okay, now, what I also have for you, I know there's an evaluation on the back table. Please pick one of those up because I do need your feedback. I want to know how this worked for you. Did you enjoy this professional development? Do you think it'll work? I also want to know how it worked in your classroom. So in your mailboxes, you will find an implementation form. You're going to fill that out, let me know your lesson plan, and I'm looking forward to seeing those lesson plans in my mailbox to see how you use this in your classrooms. Okay, you guys, I'm looking forward to our next Teacher Tuesday. The information you have on your tables, you can just leave it there. I'm going to pick it up. What's our time? Oh, yeah, our time is up. But I did walk around and see that you did some great things there. You guys have a great Tuesday, and I will